Hi viewers, Jean here with another Mars Anomalies video. The ancient Electris megalithic ruins of Mars. The photograph we'll be analyzing is called Remnant of Unconformable Deposits in Electris. I'll include the link in the video description below. This is the wallpaper that NASA provides with this image. Just thought I'd show you guys, it's rather interesting. So their write-up for this includes this here that I've highlighted. One goal of this observation is to try to determine the origin of what's called the mantling deposit. How was this deposit placed here? Very interesting question. So I speculate we're looking at more ancient megalithic ruins and not specifically a deposit. So I'm respectfully disagreeing with NASA's assessment here. I'll show you guys why I say so. The acquisition date 4th of September 2011, 25 centimeters per pixel. The JP2 black and white file that I downloaded was just over a gig. Although it's really high res, there's quite a bit of noise in the image, so I couldn't really make really nice enhancements for you guys, but I tried my best. So this is the area in the low res. I've zoomed in on a portion just to give you an idea of the possible canals that could have flowed through this area, and then we've got these megalithic retaining walls where some of these blocks have become separated and dislodged. I'll show you that in a second. So the first anomaly we're checking out is this one right here, and I'm not quite sure what to make of this. Layered or stepped megalithic blocks or slabs, or could this be some type of destroyed wrecked machinery or technology? Otherwise it's just a rather interesting boulder or rock. And then these are some of the larger megalithic blocks that I've seen. If you use the scale indicator to the bottom right, you'll just check how huge these blocks are. So I've zoomed in on this one that looks like either a layered or stepped megalithic block. These two could be stacked on top of one another, not sure. But check out the geometry in that shape there, guys. And then this block over here, very flat surface as well. And it's got these rounded corners and edges, also pretty geometric. And then some really strange artifacts here, guys. There, I'm looking at that one there, and this looks like some sort of metal plate or sheet that's been bent. Look at the way that slot has been cut into that side there. Also some layering going on here, and it looks as if this is possibly an opening, and this object is sticking out of this opening. So what could that be? More megalithic blocks or slabs. Check out the straight sides and right angles. Is that sort of destroyed technology or a wreck? And then looking at that area there, it also looks like layering going on in this object. got this triangular smaller piece on top, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4 of these narrow pieces sticking out here. Looks almost like a hand with fingers. Not that it is, guys, it's just what it looks like. And this looks like also like a metallic plate or sheet metal. So yeah, what is that? Megalithic block slabs, or some more machinery or technology. Okay, the next artifact you're looking at in the center of the screen, looks like this could be a rectangular piece. It's been partially buried, but look at the symmetry and geometry of this smaller feature on top. Got two parts that look very similar, strategically positioned on top of this. Looks almost like another piece of metal plate. Yeah, check that out there as well. I'm only focusing on a couple of the anomalies, otherwise this video is going to take forever. So I encourage you to go to my blog and take a look at these images when you have time. And yeah, look at that one right there. Another, could that be a slab? Another piece of metal plate. Who knows, we can only speculate. And then more rather strange anomalies and artifacts right there. I zoomed in on the center one. Check how these have been strategically placed. And this is a narrow rectangular piece with a smaller part to it on the bottom left. That be a sort of an entranceway perhaps, or some type of tech that's been partially buried. Really strange looking artifact right there in the center. Looks like this sort of a disc-like object, and then on top of it either a triangular piece or rectangular. Part of it's been buried, so it's difficult to say. Could that also be a top of a hatch, or a crashed craft, some type of wreckage? Look at the other anomalies around here as well. And then that piece over there, find it really intriguing, with more multiple layers. Got the smaller triangle on top. There's a little triangular piece sticking out on top of a larger, looks like a triangular piece. But because it's buried, it's difficult to say what this shape actually is. It actually looks as if it could have impacted over there. There's another similar shape over here. Some geometry going on over there in that one. Check that out. Also, it looks like sheet metal and it's been bent. Check out the well-defined edges on these things. And you had to more debris maybe, but this is definitely more layering going on over there. Slabs or blocks lying on top of one another. And then I focused on this one over here. Check out the symmetry in this shape over here. Also really straight sides. I like the angles in that. Really smooth surface as well. So a block, megalithic block or some type of technology. So the object we're looking at is right there. It's this rectangular piece that's partially buried. Also very straight edges, flat surface, 90-degree angle. And I'm looking at this piece down here, to the bottom right. So some layers or steps over here in that piece. And small little features on top of this. Don't know what that could be, some type of wreckage perhaps. Look at the straight edges and right angles in that piece. Another block, little step that I've carved into the corner. I've showed you guys similar blocks in other videos. So yeah, check that out. Looks like maybe a slab. And then showing you another block that looks like this from another high-rise photograph. So definitely matching objects, more matching objects found on Mars. And then these two really huge pieces over here. This looks almost as if the surface has been burnt somehow, and it's sort of convex. And then a really artificial looking part to it sticking out there. Straight edges, virtual 90-degree angles, and then this smaller part to it over there. And then this looks like an underground entranceway perhaps, with this being the cover. Also a metallic sheet or plate. It's been bent. Let me know what you guys make of these in the comments below when you get a chance, please. So I'm looking at this anomaly over here, that one there, that one there, and yeah. And already this looks like some type of wreckage. Now that part there, could this have been a piece of a sculpture or artwork, some type of artwork? Looks almost molded. Also some geometry and symmetry to it. Then this. Oh man, I don't know. That doesn't look like a boulder or a rock or a deposit or remnants of a deposit to me. That looks like some sort of machinery. I don't know. That's just a really odd piece. And then there. Looks like those two dark spots could be holes on the one side. that object. I don't know what that is. And then that looks like a piece of metal plate or sheet that's been bent up on this one edge. There's multiple parts to it over here. Looks like some sort of wreckage. And hang on a second, I missed an anomaly down here. This looks almost like the head of a vacuum cleaner. Also similar to the first object I showed you there. Two matching, almost virtually the same type of objects. Check that out. Let's go to the first one. And that one. Okay, there's another disc-like object with a little dome on the top, and I've shown you hundreds of these things already. Just another one of those. And it's virtually the same size as all the others I've shown you. And that looks almost like a type of a craft, part of a craft. Also it looks like debris impact site, possibly. Check out the triangular part on the top, almost like a convex triangular shape, and then this rounded, almost like a skirt, and then another, looks like, almost like a little square with a concave feature on the one side. And that thing's rather huge. It's about 20 meters in length, so it's quite massive. Okay, then another megalithic block with these straight parallel lines on it, and then there's some sort of artwork going on there, I think. Unconformable deposits, and that just sounds funny. If you look at how artificial these things look. Unconformable deposits in Electris. So this also looks like a piece of a craft or machine. I don't know how shapes like this will form naturally, guys. Check out the geometry of this opening here. And I'm going to show you more of these. Also massive, about 10 meters across. Check out that. More of these. I've shown you so many in previous videos. These megaliths with knobs or smaller features on top. This looks like it's some sort of different type of material from the brightness coming off that part. But check out the symmetry over here. And then it looks like it's rounded on this one side. More parts all over here. Parts of a structure, a building, sculptures, artwork, technology. I don't know, check out that really straight, narrow piece, very thin, whatever it is. Another multiple layered object there. check out those could be boulders, but that there looks like some type of slab, maybe a megalith. So check out the little features on here, equally spaced, so partially buried on this side, definitely raised off the ground over here, and then these exposed interlocking megaliths. Part of this, what I speculate, is a retaining wall, because there might have been canals running through this area, and these were retaining walls built to these large blocks. And it also looks like there could be sort of knobs on top of these, maybe shows how these blocks were made, very similar to the ancient megalithic ruins found on Earth, with these big blocks with these knobs on them, which I've shown you in previous videos. Even that piece there, straight sides, right angles. Then this looks like it's been molded, also quite huge, about 15 meters across. There's like a narrow rectangular part to it there, and it comes out to what looks like a cone shape, almost like a champagne glass, with this, I don't know, it looks like a triangular part to it that's coming out of this opening. So could that have been part of a sculpture or artwork, maybe even part of a machine or some type of tech? And then more of these rectangular objects. Get the straight edges again, 90-degree angle, flat surface. It's like metal plates. Check out these blocks over here, these megalithic blocks, forming these retaining walls. Look at the straight line running through this part of the wall. I speculate this could be an intact part, and the blocks have become dislodged in the other areas and rolled down. Look at that straight line there. And that looks like another block, artificial. Sort of a slot carved into it or cut into it. Maybe that could actually even be looks almost like a little triangular piece top of this. Mind you, that could even be some type of buried technology. Could even be an opening over there, I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay, so more of these massive blocks. Check how they interlock over here. This one's come dislodged. It's like pieces of a puzzle. Check at this chevron shape there. So that's that part there, close up, and it looks like more of these smaller features on top of these blocks. And this narrow parts, both sides of this, half a cylindrical shiny part in the center. Maybe that's bent into the top of a horseshoe shape. If you look at the way it curves in there, could that have been the top of a craft or a machine? Look at that there. Definitely not your normal boulder or remnant of unconformable deposits. Also blocks, very smooth surfaces, nice edges. There's that thing. I don't know what this is. Got no clue what this is. It's got a little square feature on top, rounded part there, rectangular piece at the bottom, smaller little features in the opening. That looks like a piece of machinery. And then this smooth flat surfaces, and then multiple little it looks like it could be some type of art, I don't know, sculpture. And this piece might have broken off. Well, there are 3 pieces here, I don't know. Let's just read my description. Yeah, I think I covered that. And then square blocks. I don't even have to say anything about that. So, look at this. Covered those 2. Let's check out that there. Looks like a slab, maybe 2 stacked on top of one another. And then these 2 smooth surface objects. Got like a nice rounding to that top part. Nice edges. I don't know. Partially buried, another slab perhaps. These things are really clean and bright, which is very unusual. And then this part got this long narrow opening here, and then a little feature over there, or part to it there. Check out this block over here. Okay, so that's located there. So multiple layering or steps. Look at the right angles over here. Straight edges. And then it's got like something sticking out to the top right. I don't know what that is, guys and girls. And another block, Looks as if two flat surfaces have been carved into it somehow. Bit of an angle to it there. Right there. That could even be a pyramidal feature. 3 sides. Then this flat slab again, parts broken off, the little dome-like feature on it, and then another disc-like object there. Yeah, more of these megaliths with knobs or smaller features on them. There's 3 over here in a row, almost equally sized and spaced. There's a little cube over there. So multiple stuff going on here. Another little disc with a dome on it. That's what I call it, guys and ladies. Check out that there. It looks like stacked slabs and blocks. I don't know. There are just so many anomalies. Look at this. It looks like the top of a hatch. I think I've shown you one just before this. This could even be a craft. A little dome-like feature on the top in the center there. It reminds me of another one I showed you in a previous video some months ago of this. This is really huge. It's much bigger than this. I'd say this thing's about 600 meters by 600 meters, so it's huge. But top of a hatch maybe, like that, or a craft that crashed over here. I don't know. This is the link to the MOC picture if you want to have a look at that. So very similar looking. It's got that little dome in the center, that one as well. That rectangular feature there. There's a rectangular part there. I don't know, matching stuff. And then this looks like it could have been some sort of container opening over here. Not sure. And then get that there. This looks like this was definitely part of some sort of structure. The lines running through this, parallel lines, and then yeah, got geometry going on there. Some symmetry as well, guys. Whatever this is, it's partially buried as well, so it's difficult to say what that is. Maybe a piece of technology wreckage. And then another one of these slab objects with straight edges and 90-degree angles and flat sides. There's a cube. And then that looks almost like an exclamation mark. Not that it is, but so this could be part of a statue or a sculpture or something like that. Look at the really well defined edge on this piece, nicely rounded in the corner there. multiple pieces here. So yeah, what did I say this is? Sculpture piece, steps, layers, megalithic block, or technology. That even looks as if that could have been an opening over here. And then this heart shape, leaf shape object with two equally spaced features or parts, a little dome in the center, and this convex part. I don't know what that is. Even that there looks like a round disc and an opening. But I didn't zoom into that, so let's carry on. Another sort of an L-shaped megalithic block, perhaps, with three features on it. So nicely well-defined edges, the smooth side there. Check out that metallic looking plate, sheet metal thing going on there. Another one here. This becomes overwhelming eventually. And then yeah, another, I don't know, entranceway. This could be an opening, yeah. Maybe a hatch. Check out the part in the top center. Also totally wrecked and destroyed. Or maybe it's a broken block. That's difficult to say from the shadow. It's always difficult with these anomalies. It looks like a metal plate, but in the shadow underneath this, there could be a block. You don't know. This is just the side we can see. So that reminds me of similar anomalies I've shown you in previous videos. This one's from Gorgonum Chaos. Let's see, check out that low-res JPEG. It looks very similar to Electris we've just covered, with these sort of canals and these retaining walls built around these, could be islands, I don't know. So yeah, we can see that close up. This is now from Gorgonum Chaos. Look at the similarity in the building technique, building style, and then also multiple craft or megalithic artifacts. Check out the smooth surface on this thing and the geometry. And that one there looks like a piece of destroyed machinery or technology, I'm not sure. And then more debris all over here. Look at this, that part there. It looks like an elliptical sort of craft. Perfect symmetry in that shape. How clean this thing looks. Nice rounded side there. 90-degree angle, straight side there. And in this part, I have no idea what this could be. It looks as if it crashed here. Get that, looks like a trench. I just want to see where it is on this photograph. There. Could that have been a craft that came down there? It's about 8 meters, very similar in size to those other two craft that match that I've shown you. Very similar in size as matching craft, that video. And then Nilocertus region, I think that's how you pronounce it, Nilocertus region. More of these type of retaining walls. This is where I found that big block. It's about 8 meters across. Don't know how huge this thing could be. It's partially buried, but the one I found in Asimov that looks similar is also 8 meters across, but it's 22 meters long. This one could be similar size, I don't know. But also, check out these blocks. Look at that. Incredible, there's that block. Megalithic blocks all over here. And then Asimov crater, also very similar to that first region I showed you, the Electris region. Check out the this area here. Got these retaining walls, megalithic blocks. Check out that one's come dislodged. Get the straight sides, flat surfaces, and then that little part that's been sort of chiseled into that corner. And then that piece that I was speaking of earlier, the 8 meter across megalith. This is an 8 by about 22. But this is really strange. It's sticking out here. I don't know. Could that be, instead of this being a megalith, could this be a sort of an opening, underground entranceway, that being a hatch? There's a sunlight coming through here, and this is like an arch. I don't know. It could be an arch, it could be a megalith, it could be an entranceway. I don't know. Lack of info, I guess. What can we say? So let's quickly go over to Google Earth and Electris, where I showed you, these are some of the anomalies I showed you first, where that's located. So let's hop over there. And I like to leave the Kanowski ley lines or geometry lines there so that I know where I am on Mars. Because without these lines, I just lose my perspective. So if you check this white line, this is the one that links these sites that I've now shown you. So Electris is here with those anomalies. Then Gorgonum, where I showed you those. Check that, even there looks like a hatch. It looks like a flying saucer, sort of lying on its side. So those two sites, or let's see how far apart they are. About 30 kilometers apart, and then Nilo Certus, where I showed you that 8 meter wide block. Let's quickly hop over there, fly over there. So this is in the northern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere, whereas those other two sites are in the southern hemisphere. And then that goes down to Asimov crater, where I showed you these funny blocks as well. And that's where the Arthur C. Clarke monolith is. Well, that's what we call it. Not that it is, but it's got the same aspect ratio. If I recall correctly, 75 meters by 33 meters, something like that. But it's massive. Okay, so from those lines, you can see there's similar megalithic blocks all over the planet, not just concentrated in one area. So I just want to show you, Asimov is there, and then almost on the same latitude line we've got Gorgorum and Electris. Very similar looking areas, but they are thousands of kilometers apart. Alright, so you'll find all this information in my blog. I've updated my blog. It includes all these anomalies, guys. So I think that's it for this. I've got tons more megalithic blocks to show you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please do subscribe, turn on notifications if you'd like to. And for my regular viewers and subscribers, thank you for supporting my channel. I do appreciate it very much. See you in the next video.